Let's go now to Natasha Pizzo. She joins me from Tapachula, the city where migrants have spent the night as part of this journey to the US. Natasha, what's the latest and what's the plan for these migrants today?
Pretty unclear. They've had a really rough night. As you can see, thousands of them just camped out in the main square of Tapachula, this town that's 38 kilometers from the border with Mexico, where they came in from Guatemala. And yesterday they walked those 38 kilometers in 40-degree heat, baking sun. There are many toddlers. People were walking carrying their children, carrying their, all the belongings they could bring on their head. And they've had this awful night out here. Many of them are sick. Their feet are swollen and sore from yesterday. There's talk of them continuing today, but it's a bit unclear. I mean, that's one of the things that just happens with having this many people trying to move together. It's that logistically it is incredibly complicated to organise, to keep them together, to keep them safe, to get them food. Like, no humanitarian organisation can really cope with this right now. They've got 3,000 kilometres still ahead of them to reach the US border, which for many of them is where they're determined to get to, no matter what Donald Trump says. And so we'll just have to see if they keep moving today or if they need a little bit of time to rest and try and gather.
Natasha, the US president, as I mentioned before, has threatened to cut aid to countries allowing the caravan to pass. Just how worried has that got the Mexican authorities? Are they worried about US sanctions?
Well, Mexico certainly seems to be committed to making the optics of their efforts look good. We saw that when these thousands of people, of refugees and migrants, reached the official crossing point into Mexico, Mexican authorities refused to open the gates and to let them in officially. But they didn't seem to bat an eyelid as thousands of these people made their way right underneath that border bridge on makeshift rafts and came in informally, illegally. And we've seen along the highway yesterday, as the march progressed, the police would set up these very terrifying-looking checkpoints along the way as if they were going to blockade the highway. But then as the migrants came close, they would move and shift further up the highway. So thankfully there wasn't this clash that we were terrified of. We saw that they had tear gas and riot shields and so on. But they don't actually seem to have got in the way of the migrants yet. So it's a bit unclear what the Mexican authorities plan to do as these people continue determined to make their way north.
Thank you very much, Natasha. Natasha Pizzo joining us there from Tapachula in southern Mexico.